When we look at the landscape of beat 'em ups on the PlayStation, there are quite limited numbers in what is available, many of which would have been released way back during the early months or years of the console's lifespan. But during the midpoint, beat 'em ups had started to hit a decline in terms of its popularity. It's only more so in recent years that the genre has started to become popular again. But that still wouldn't stop some developers from trying to reinvigorate the hype around these type of games, while the PlayStation was still popular. And in the year 2000, the console would get Gekido Urban Fighters that was released in both Europe and North America. That plays from a very similar perspective to that of the iconic Streets of Rage and Final Fight games that would have been the pinnacle of the 16-bit era. But this game would fully utilise 3D graphics. You did have other beat 'em ups on the console with the likes of Fighting Force and a couple of others that did stand out, but it would be a while before the console would receive another decent entry. And Gekido is definitely that title. While it is challenging to many, it does offer up enough gameplay elements with a mix of different characters to choose from, different game modes, even a battle mode where you can play amongst your mates even up to 4 players if you have a multi-tap accessory, which was a really cool feature and is a lot of fun. And everything is played from a 3D perspective or 3D environment type of aesthetic. But the game, especially in the main campaign, still uses the side-scrolling aesthetics that would have been made popular with earlier beat 'em ups. But with the battle mode, it acts more in a more confined arena style environment. So you're tasked with trying to save a young girl who has been kidnapped, and it is rumoured that the person that is responsible has made a deal with the devil. So you are tasked, along with the help of some of your friends, to try and put an end to the madness and save the girl. Now, the game itself, upon release, received average reviews, considering the game to be nothing revolutionary considering all of the other beat 'em ups that had been released on the system. But again, like I said, it was released at a time when beat 'em ups weren't really considered all that popular, as the gaming landscape had started to transition in many ways, with players looking for something new. But even aside from those elements, the gameplay is fun, it's addictive, it is tough and challenging. You will have to get used to the variety of movesets and abilities to have a chance of winning, but it's better played with your mates, as that's where the fun will be had. But Gekido Urban Fighters is often considered as the best beat 'em up on the PlayStation when you compare it to all of the other games like Fighting Force, Legend, Crisis Beat, among a few others that were also released. There's not too many 3D side-scrolling beat 'em ups on the system, in all fairness, but Gekido is definitely considered to be the best of the bunch. It has a great soundtrack with music from some well-known artists to really add up the whole tension for the atmosphere, which just creates a very cool dynamic and a high-tension atmosphere. So if you've played any type of game similar to this, or you're a fan of old school beat 'em ups, Gekido is definitely another game, in all honesty, that is worth a try. And even going back to playing it now years later, it's still a fun game. Yes, it is challenging, don't get me wrong about that, but it's still a very fun game. There is a lot of time that you will have to put into it. You will have to get used to all of the characteristics with the characters' movesets, abilities and unique traits, as the game is very fast paced and frantic. But you will have a blast with this, and like I said, it's even more fun if you're playing with a group of your mates. But yes, it doesn't give anything new with the landscape of beat 'em ups, as it is very similar to the classics that we all know and love. But it's just another game in this series that is worth a look if you are a fan of it. But I would love to know your thoughts of Gekido Urban Fighters if you have played it yourself, and if so, what do you think of it overall? Do you enjoy this style of game, or are you a fan of beat 'em ups in general, or do you prefer the older classics from earlier generations? So be sure to share it down in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to be updated with future content. And if you would like to see more videos around other types of games similar to this that were also released on the PlayStation, then you can check out the playlist on screen to see more of those games in action. And as always, keep those gaming memories alive.